finna get juicy. Big disciple, not bad and bougie. This
Laura! Hit it right there. Right. And we back at it again. It's Steve and Laura time all the time. Life lessons of Steve and Laura. And what is the life lesson here, man? So you gotta stop taking yourself so seriously. Enjoy yourself. And when I mean enjoy yourself, I mean enjoy who you are. Enjoy who God created you to be. Enjoy the gifts and the abilities and the talent that He has given you, like Laura's doing here on her Whitney Houston voice. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. So not subtle.
Hey, Steve.
Exactly.
How'd you know it was me?
Lucky guess.
Yeah. Your house shoes are making announcements. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Laura.
Those things are
I
annoying.
need some advice.
Here's some. Burn the slippers.
For real. For real.
I cheated on Myra.
You found another woman willing to touch you?
Yes. And her name is Agnes Pritzker.
Agnes Pritzker.
Oh, don't let the name fool you. Why, she's a humma, whoa, mama, strip search me doll, baby.
Can we take it back for a second? Because these things are connected. Now, remember when they saw each other in the shower, Laura didn't have all these jokes. You know, but you have to understand, Laura is joking with Steve here.
And a woman like that is interested in you because...
Well, we both love bugs. And she came over to trade some. And then bam, I got hot.
I got hot. Right.
Oh, Laura, I'm so ashamed of the things I did with Agnes in my naughty mind.
Let me get it for a second, Laura. Let me get it for a second. This again is where I'm going to remind people where Laura and Steve are so alike. That Steve is thinking right now in his mind, like the fact that I'm even thinking these thoughts makes him feel bad. Because Steve and Laura are so pure. They're pure, you know. But Steve, he wants to do it a certain way. And really, let's keep it real with a certain person. This one right here. So we just have to kind of remember that this is the same Steve that, you know, saw Laura and her all together and was kind of struggling with that. And maybe there's some residue here from that.
Wait a minute, back up.
Mm-hmm. Not literally, Steve.
Did you say in your mind?
Oh, yes. I never actually did anything with Agnes. I imagined it.
Then you didn't cheat on Myra.
But I did. I lusted in my heart.
Steve, everyone has fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you ever had fantasies about me?
Boys, you know how Laura, this is why I love Laura though. Pay attention to the fact that she's actually avoiding the question. She does not actually answer the question. Y'all gotta pay attention to Laura with some stuff sometimes.
Oh, come on. You've had to have at least one fantasy.
You were waving to me from the back of a moving van.
Here goes Laura trying to make light in these situations. Oh, battery's out. Thank God. Thank the Lord.
If you really feel like you've done something wrong, then I think you should tell her and get it off your chest.
Oh, but I might lose her.
That's just a chance you'll have to take. That's the only way you'll be able to live with yourself.
Look at that right there. Look at that right there. That smile right there tells you all you. This right here tells you why he loves her. You know what I'm saying? Again, Laura giving advice to Steve that she ain't charging him for. Say what I think is beautiful about Steve is this gives you an understanding of who he is as a man. Steve is recognizing that what he feels for Myra is not really real. So he's starting to feel bad about it. Why? Because Steve has never fantasized about another girl outside of Laura. So when he was on his pursuit of Laura, remember Steve was pushing away women. Bow, 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 pushing them away. So Steve is starting to see like, wait a minute, I got other women on the brain and I have Myra. This is not a good sign. Because again, Laura is always a representation to him of true love.
You're right, Laura. I'm gonna tell Myra.
There you go.
But if she dumps me, will you be my sweetie? Boy, you are really a trip.
Boy, you are really a trip. You're taking me around the world with that one, boy. You were really a trip with that.
Go ahead, think it over.
Think it over. Lord gave him good advice. Oh my gosh. So disgusting. Again, just want to show you. What do I keep saying? Myra brings out and embraces the boy. Because as long as Steve stays where she has him at, he can't grow out of her. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But Laura, you see, and a lot of you are like, oh, Laura, she didn't know. Because Laura expects more out of this man. She expects more. Laura's like, man, what are you doing right now? This is not proper etiquette when we're eating out. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. It's what children do. And you have to correct them and say, hey, this is not what we do when we eat out. This is not our outside eating manners. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, Curtis Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's good looking trouble.
Woo.
Now, Polly.
He absolutely is.
Why, Curtis Williams is a street racer. A daredevil bug who blatantly disobeys the posted speed laws. Oh, and I've seen him litter too.
Steve, that has nothing to do with how good looking he is. Okay? Laura said he was good looking and she ain't never lied. Curtis is, woo, my gosh.
Curtis, you're the best.
Yes.
You're the boss. A number one. Fact. The cream. Aces, man. That's what.
Woo, Curtis, over here, baby.
Over here, baby.
Hey.
Woo.
Who was the prettiest girl at Vanderbilt High?
Bye.
Talking to Laura.
He was talking to Laura.
You're a kid.
Wow.
I'm fine, Curtis.
If we step back from somebody for a second and stop hating, we might actually be able to learn something. Myra may actually be able to learn something from the mystique and the allure of Laura Winslow. Yeah.
Laura, I'm racing Saturday, and I would love for your beautiful face to be the first thing I see when I win. So you want to ride shotgun with me?
Steve.
Myra, you can't do that. Why, it's too dangerous.
Thanks for the offer, Curtis, but I don't think so.
What are you, nuts? This is Curtis Williams, the Sultan of Speed, the Prince of the...
I mean, just look at him. I mean, ladies. Hey, ladies, I'm calling y'all in. Just look at him for a second. Wow. God really did good there. He really did good there.
The king of...
Hype man in the background.
It's her choice, her loss.
Number 47.
Listen, Curtis, why don't you make like a banana and split? Myra's not interested in you. You're spinning your wheels.
Oh, really? Hey, fellas.
You got to ask the question. This is what I find so hilarious and respectful. A lot of y'all try to hate. This is the stuff I respect from Steve. I love the fact that Steve does this stuff with Myra right there. With Myra right there. Gonna say, why is he stressing Curtis? Now, do I believe that Steve cares about Laura and he cares about her safety? Yes. But why does Steve have to go and tell Curtis she's not interested in you? What's that got to do with anything? What does that really have to do with her safety? And also too, it's the Steve being Steve, because Laura has shown that she has interest in Curtis. So again, why is Steve doing this? But I love the fact that, hey, he's still doing it. He ain't hiding nothing from Myra. It has never lied to Myra. He's never gone behind her back. He told her from the very beginning what it is.
It's mine. Why have you lost your mind? I forbid you to ride with Curtis.
Ooh,
You forbid me.
Right.
And just how do you plan to stop?
I'll tell your father.
And I'll break your neck.
My lips are sealed.
See, what makes you? I forbid you to ride with Curtis. And again, I want to keep asking, why do you think Steve is doing this?
If Steve hadn't meddled in my love life, I'd be riding in Curtis's car right now.
Well, excuse me, Missy, but my Stevie could care less about your love life. He thinks of you as a friend.
Oh, please. Steve gets jealous of every guy I meet.
Facts.
Oh, no, not anymore, girlfriend. Not since this cowgirl rode into town. I'll have you know, Steve bet his car and $500 just to keep you from riding.
He did?
Yes, and more importantly, he's out there risking his life to protect you.
Don't understand how oblivious Myra is to things. See, this is what I'm saying. Myra will never catch up. because Myra wasn't there during all the times when Steve, this is normal Steve and Laura stuff.
Not only have you harassed and insulted me, but you have sullied the reputation of my lady love.
Bye. His head moved.
I merely wish to issue a friendly warning. Stay away from my Laura. The loser stays away from Laura forever.
So we're seeing, just going and looking and seeing all these different things that Steve has been doing for Laura.
You're on?
Daniel Wallace?
That'd be me. I came to see Laura.
What? You what?
Don't do it, Steve. Scaring Steve, you'll start to realize he scares away the pretty boys. Okay, he scares away the pretty boys. We're seeing a little pattern here with them pretty boys.
Look, Steve, I shouldn't have kicked you out of my life.
Oh, look, you had a right to be upset.
Yes, you did.
After all, I did use my superior intellect to scare away Daniel Wallace.
Yep.
Wow. This is fantastic.
Yeah, CNC Music Factory live.
No, I mean us. You and me. And no Steve Urkel.
You mean no Steve Urkel yet?
Right.
He's followed us on every date we've ever had.
Man, he just won't give up.
Look, again, we're just seeing, right? This is the same stuff Steve's been doing. Scaring away the pretty boys.
Hi. Jerkle? What are you doing here?
I'll ask the question, Noodle Noggin. What are you doing?
Steve called him Noodle. Understanding that he's smarter than majority of the guys that Laura dates.
I came to see Laura.
Well, there she is. You've seen her. Now beat it.
Beat it.
No, you beat it.
Lucky for you, I'm leaving.
Gosh.
I really like you, Laura. But when you hang out with him, it makes me look bad. So if you want me, you have to dump the nerve.
This is what he does. And for Myra to think that it's not about Laura's love life, you know what I'm saying? And for her to be like, he just thinks of you as a friend. Okay, it's hilarious. But I do like that Myra is reminding Laura, like, look at what he is doing for you. Okay, whatever way you want to dice that, he is doing this for you. Why is Steve going? Myra's not putting it together. Because like I said before, a lot of y'all think because Myra and Steve polka dance and because they go out to eat and they do this and that they're actually connecting. A lot of y'all think that they're not. They're still not connecting in the way. He does not have the connection with Myra that he still does with Laura. This is why I said Myra will never catch up. She will never catch up because I'm going to keep saying it. Steve and Laura love each other in the greatest way, and that is friendship. Oh. Steve, blew him out the water, though. He won. Steve won easily. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Bam. Now let's just think about this for a second. Steve was trying to get Curtis to not drive with Laura so that they don't crash. And what does Steve end up doing? Crashing. Interesting.
Rocket engine. That baby really cooks.
Curtis, you said that when you race, no one ever gets hurt.
Correction. I said I never get
Right, that is what he said.
That could have been your car that crashed, and I could have been with you.
Yeah, but you weren't.
I'm very lucky to have a friend like you watching out for me.
Ah, shucks.
Thanks, Steve.
Is Myra gonna let them hug?
Hey,
Nope.
Hey. You want to thank them? Send them a call.
Nope.
So you can replace certain people, but you can't replace what they bring. Y'all missed that. Yep. So they got another one, but they didn't get another you. I'm going to say that one more time. They got another one, but they didn't get another you because they weren't wise enough to recognize rare. See, when you're not wise enough to recognize rare, you treat rare like it's common. And you don't realize that everybody doesn't get rare.
I thought that was so powerful right there what Dr. Darius Daniel said when he's talking about rare, right? And it's such an explanation to what Steve and Laura are. But this is the beautiful part about it when it comes to Steve and Laura. Laura is in that same category. She's rare. She's different. She ain't like them other ones. You know what I'm saying? I know you may say, well, what is different from Myra? You know, they're both beautiful. A lot of you be like, and they have, Myra and Steve have things in common because they polka. That has nothing to do with rarity, right? What makes her so rare? What you saw in this scene with Steve doing. Laura is coming down. I mean, Steve is kind of in a little bit of internal turmoil, because he's never felt some of these things before. Because like I told you, when they saw each other in the shower, I think it did some stuff to both of them, really, right? And so Steve is now feeling these things he's never really felt before. And this is deep thought. You know, this isn't, yeah, really, I don't know if I'm going to pass my test. I'm worried about it. I'm having a problem with a teacher at school. I'm having a problem with a coworker. This is some stuff that's going on the inside of him. And he feels comfortable enough to share it with Laura to an extent that he actually gets relief. Laura actually once again gives him great advice. And this is what I said before, that what makes Laura so rare. It's not just because she's beautiful. It's not just because she's intelligent. It's because she's witty. It's because she's caring. It's because she's responsible. It's because she's wise, right? She has a lot of wisdom. Steve can go talk to anybody. Remember, Eddie is his boy, right? They're like best friends. Why not go talk to, hey, let me go see if Eddie had these type of issues. Let me go talk to my boy. Nope, he goes and talks to Laura because Laura brings something that nobody else brings him. Okay? Laura can talk to him and give him advice in ways that nobody else can. And that's what makes Laura rare. Also, too, what is the rarity? Laura is as pure as the snow, like I said, like he is. You know what I'm saying? And how he wants his woman. Can we keep it real? That's how Steve wants his woman. He let it be known. Okay, we're going to put it back in here. Look at this. Look at this. The difference between Myra and Laura again. The difference between Myra and Laura.
Keep yourself here. Your wedding night will mean more. Wanna wait. I want my wedding night to be special.
Right. My advice to you is be true to yourself. Go with what you believe in.
Right there.
Now, if Myra can't support that, she is just not the right girl for you.
That's how Steve wanted his woman on a wedding night. You know what I'm saying? You my first, I'm your first. Let's handle it. You know what I'm saying? Let's make a life of this. Right? Steve understands that that's rare. We had to go talk to Mother Winslow because he's feeling pressure from Myra to, as they said, let's get it on. Right? And Steve said, I don't want to do that. I want my wedding night to be special, right? So there's levels of rarity, if you will, or where Laura is rare, that Steve not only enjoys, but that he looks up to, but also he needs. This is what I'll keep saying again when people say, and it just irritates me because it's asinine foolishness. But when people say that Laura made Steve wait, Laura, and I would ask the question again for those that are intelligent and articulate: what is Steve missing out on with Laura right now? What is he missing out on? Besides continuing to build the greatest bond, right? What is Steve missing out on? The only thing that Steve is really missing out on is the romance side of it. That's it. Laura is actually fulfilling every other area as a friend. Do you get it? As a friend, she is fulfilling him. That Laura made him. One thing I realized when people try to, give reasons to why it should be Myra, they're the most asinine reasons. There's no logic. It's just emotion. Because again, I would like to ask, how is Steve waiting? How is he waiting when he got a whole girlfriend, but he waiting on Laura? Laura made him wait. Come on, guys. I need you to use your mind. I guarantee you, Laura, who's on the other side of it, probably does not feel that Steve is actually waiting on her. You want to go and argue Myra? I'm like, I'm good with that. I just need it to make sense. Here's the other thing too. This is the big thing. I understand why I continue to say, I understand why a lot of people go with Myra, because one, we're in a very, 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 very cold world. That's what we're in today. We're not in a world of love. That's why people can't even imagine being like best friend. No, friends isn't the greatest love. Yeah, it is. Because any actual relationship that you will have, friendship should be the main source of it. But the problem is it's not now, right? And that's why we're so cold-hearted, right? That's why, if we actually knew how to express love and we were really loving each other right, and we were really having friendships in the way that we should, YouTubers that make their YouTube videos, that's not what I'm talking about. Or people that are creating things, or they have a cooking channel, whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a lot of people that are on social media leaving all these negative comments and all this other type of stuff. It's a lot of these people, all they have is social media. Social media is what they wake up to. Social media is what they go to bed to. Social media is what they eat breakfast to, dinner to. Social media is what, puts their blanket up on them at night. And it's because we're lonely. It's because we're lonely. And so social media makes you feel like you at least got something, or you at least got somebody. Understand about Steve. What does Steve love about Laura? There's many things. You know what I'm saying? Myra will gas Steve up, but Laura takes accountability. What does Steve prefer? He doesn't need to be Steve Urkel. Stephen Q. Urkel does not need to be gassed up. He needs to be respected. He doesn't need to be gassed up. He needs people to be honest. That's what Lord gives him even in friendship. To Steve and Laura is like, man, when you really look at it, like they're both rare. They're both rare. They're both different. And I'll leave a message with you. You're rare. You're different. We're in such a culture today that it's like you got to be like everybody's being and doing what everybody's doing. That was never God's idea. God made every single one of us actually rare. But because we think we got to act like each other to be accepted, there's no individuality. There's no individuality anymore. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to encourage you in, though. Be encouraged in your individuality. Understand that God specifically you and the way that he did with your gifts, with your abilities, to go and to conquer whatever assignment he has put before you. God's calling was never for you to be like anybody else. And that's what we can take and we can learn from Steve and Laura, is that Steve can have a Myra right there. But Steve fully understands that Laura is rare. Myra may look the part and Myra may play the part, but Steve knows deep down inside that she can never fit the part. Love God, love people. May God bless you. May God keep you.